our stream today.
Yeah.
This is just a forest of parts. And we were going to paint yesterday. That freak storm rolled in.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice little surprise.
That was.
So I was like, well,
Maybe it did.
yeah, I don't like painting when it rains out. Even though I can do it in the garage, I don't like doing it when it's raining out because of the humidity levels and how that messes with stuff.
Yeah, especially if you're using, are you painting with Tamiya type paints or whatever? Or
Rattle cans.
Yeah, so it's lacquer based, and lacquer hates humidity a lot.
Is it real? Okay, that's good to know.
Oh yeah, it does a thing called blushing, where it kind of gets a white chalkiness to it.
Okay.
Especially
blushing.
Yeah.
I better write that down.
You know, the more you know.
The more you know, the less you can do.
Mm-hmm. They're watching.
Oh, okay. I'll wait to write that down later then.
So, I mean, wow. Here we go again.
Kind of doing a little bit of a recap of last weekend.
Yeah, we got cool things to talk about. But to kick it off, this is BG.
And that's Luka Cee. That's right.
And we are
the model car guys.
On the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Jawohl.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Germans. Click. Sorry. No.
Yep. And we've got the program director's ready to crawl on my back again.
Already?
Here we go.
Already?
Everybody say hi to Felix.
Hi, Felix. No banana today?
What's that?
No banana today? Are they out of
no banana, and he's got no bananas, but he does have, take that out, he does have a necklace in his mouth.
Oh, okay. I thought that was drool.
No, it's a chain, but don't worry, the item is way too big for him, probably too big for him as well. There, it's out of his mouth. Kids
chain
today.
looks long enough you could just pull it back out again.
You know, and soon it's going to be coming on me.
It's going to be like stringing ducks.
He's got a 4-hammer hanging from a chain there. So anyways, yes. BG, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is a two-parter. We're going to first kind of recap the weekend that we had that was anti-ACME.
Yes.
ACME, I don't know, whatever, you know what it is, but it was our ACME. It was Arizona Car Modelers Edition.
There you go.
I just made that up.
Arizona Car Modelers Edition. You're pretty smart. Wow.
I may have attended school once or twice.
Wow. Wait, I'm like, wow. Wow.
Hey, maybe it should be Western Arizona, so it could be WACME.
I like that even better.
Yeah.
Add the W. Western.
I don't think I'm going to type that into any search engines, though.
Oh, man.
Anyway, okay, so part 2, or dos, as we like to say here.
El doso.
Yes, which is the Spanglish. We're talking about storing model kits and how we go about doing that.
Yes.
The pitfalls of storing model kits.
Oh, boy, we had some fun.
Don't store them in a pit.
Yeah. Well, how do you do it? Or let's talk about WACME first.
Okay, I was going to say, we talking about WACME?
Well, I will say this. I'm sure everybody saw. If anybody was there, the first of all, the model car classes killed at this IPMS show locally.
Yes.
We packed the tables.
I don't think I talked to you, but I was at my local hobby shop. I was at my local hobby shop on Tuesday, picking up some paint.
Oh, look, a brown bag too.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. But it turns out the guy that runs that shop is actually the local IPMS president.
Yes.
Okay, so I mentioned that before. So he was there, plus one of the head judges. They were chatting about the show. So I popped in, and, you know, I was nice and polite and everything, and I'm like, what are you going to talk about? So I was like, hey, you guys talking about the show? And I'm getting to the point now, you know, I'm still pretty new to the IPMS chapter here, but
Yes, because
I'm hard to miss in a crowd. So
you're now involved with it, right?
I'm involved. I actually have name tag.
Oh, that's right. Hey, that's your real name.
Yeah.
See where you got the BG from, everybody?
Yeah, the guy that was taking my information is like, how do you spell your name? I said, capital B. He goes, okay. I said, capital G. He goes, that doesn't make any sense at all. I'm like, all right. But good.
Good.
So I was hoping my name tag would come out. Capital B, capital G. All right. Anyway, I digress. So I was talking to you guys, Dick and Mike, I think were the two guys' names, and they were saying that the count was a little bit low overall for the entire show, but the model cars surprised them once again.
They came to us, they asked us to do, and we did. So.
Yep. And there was that one fellow that made the comment to you that said, "Thank you for bringing your crew," because it really helped out with the judging and got that done quickly and accurately.
Boy, did we.
Yep, I think we were one of the first groups done. We
were. It was like 4 hours of judging, and we were all done in about an hour.
Yeah, we were just like, yep. I went shopping the vendor tables again. Came up with a couple more goodies that we just dropped a video about here just a minute ago. And then Mrs. BG had said she wanted to help out with judging, for the car stuff. And then at the judges meeting, you're at the judges meeting too. And then they're like, okay, we need a couple more people to help out with sci-fi. And Mrs. BG's like, gone.
Yeah,
she's like, I'll help. And she took off, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Actually, it's probably better that way.
Yeah, we were pretty loaded up with judges, and we weren't hurting for that. And if they need it there, plus she kind of has a bit of more of an interest in the sci-fi models.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she has discovered a particular type of sci-fi model genre that she's really into right now. And hang on a second now. It's called Machina.
Oh, yes.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I do.
It's from a Japanese artist.
Yes.
Can't think of the second name now. Anyway, she thought that they were very, very cool. They have like spider walkers and stuff and everything looks like it's post-apocalyptic Russian or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And everything's kind of bulbous and looks like it's a thick armor skin and everything. So her birthday's coming up this month, so I actually ordered a kit for her.
Oh, really?
I always thought that stuff was resin. She doesn't watch this.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't watch this.
Well, yeah, it's cars.
Yeah.
She's much more sophisticated and does the science fiction stuff.
Right. So, yeah, I ordered a kit that was decently priced and stuff. But I always thought that stuff was all garage resin kit stuff. But it's all styrene, so... Yeah.
And I noticed walking through your house/museum, there's quite a bit of models laying around that are of her building, and yeah, it's all science fiction stuff. Yep. I just remember that time when I walked into Andy's when you guys were already there, and she came running up to me, check out what I bought, and it was a really cool that cool stormtrooper that was like done up as a samurai.
It was done up as a samurai, but it was winter armor type of thing.
Right, that's right. It was a snow trooper, and and then the next time I came over to your house, it was built on the counter.
Well, we got it home, and it was in the Black Series box and everything. We got it home, and she opens the box, and she goes, "What the hell?" I'm like, "What's the matter? Is it missing parts?" She goes, "No. It's just you just put on the hands because it was you had two different kinds of hands or whatever, right?" That would be my sister. But she's like, you just put on the hands and that's it. I wanted to build something because I think it was a Bandai thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
So she was hoping it was going to be a Bandai Stormtrooper kit that she could actually assemble and weather and everything. And she's like, it's already painted, it's already built. And she was setting it up and she had the saddest face. She's like, just setting it up and everything. I'm like, oh.
I know, she was so excited about that. Jeez. But so we got going with the judging. We split up into teams because, of course, there was a lot of people. I didn't bring any models. There was issues with that. I had models packed up I was going to take, but my morning did not go the way I had planned.
You had a rough morning.
I had a rough morning. I got there late.
It worked out in your benefit, though.
It did.
I think you judged every table that they had available.
Yeah, that did make it better because I could judge anything. Where like BG had models and he could not judge those classes, obviously.
Yep.
And which you ended up taking home a really cool. Well, you got some accolades, I guess you could say. Is that the correct word? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know the words that come out of my mouth. And it was your best build to date, and everybody's seen the video, right? If you haven't, go check this video out of BG's. Yeah. Man, that 32 was stellar, and it was a very strong second because you were up against that from Chuck. And Chuck is just, well, as you called that was your quote-unquote Chucky Buster build. Mm-hmm. Didn't quite bust Chuck, but it definitely got his attention.
It's more of a Chuck chaser.
Yeah, but you know, it's all in love. But the thing about it is something, I was the judge in that class, and no, when I judge, I don't really care who builds what. I do not hand anything to my friends. Because I don't really like my friends anyway, so I'm not going to give them nothing. But, and that goes for him. And so when we were judging that class, it was very obvious over the whole thing. It was definitely, okay, these two models are definitely for first and second. And we scrutinized over them. The big battle was for the cars that were all up for third place. That's where we put a lot of our time. Yeah, very strong second, where I told BG if he didn't take it that far that he did, he probably would have gotten second anyway, but he would have been battling for second between the third place model, where his fight was between the first place and the second. So he honestly got a second behind, if you follow what I'm saying, behind Chuck's model, which was stellar, perfect. Just, you know, it was amazing.
Definitely a benchmark.
Yeah, and so that made it a more, you know, when I explained that to him, that made that second place worth the extra work he did. Where, if you understand what I'm saying, if he wouldn't have put that work in, he probably would have gotten second, but it would have been where he would have been battling the third place.
Yeah, what kind of
better battle.
Kind of refer to that as a soft second.
Yeah, there you go, a soft second. So that model was definitely, I mean, everybody took notice to it. You know, it definitely was a huge improvement for you in your model building. You definitely you have just gone to another level.
Well, thank you. And it's like I've been talking to you and in videos and stuff, how I've reached a point in my model building where I'm like, I want to go to the next level, and that is upping the detail level. I'm not going hyper detailed like some guys can do, like Mr. Batson, but Mr. Batson, and then, like Mr. Fred Henry, he does some scratch work, he does some modifications and stuff, but he just does beautiful, clean builds. And I respect the hell out of that, you know, type of thing. Mr. Inman is doing the same thing. You know, he's doing some nice, clean display quality builds, and I'm like, I can do that, but I want to go just a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and you're definitely, you did open that door up, and now you're there. So
actually, I opened the trunk.
Yeah, but I'm done. But yes, so you definitely have now entered a new realm of model building, and which I mean, since we became friends, it's been like a year and a half or so that we've been hanging out and being buds.
Yeah, about 2 years now, I think.
I have watched your model building improve a lot over this past year and a half.
Well, thank you. I
mean, I felt you were a pretty good model builder when I met you, but your stuff you kept it on the simple, and you did very clean builds. You were definitely, when I first started seeing your models, they were definitely, okay, he hits all the baseline points of you know, good quality model building.
The technical points.
The technical stuff. Now it was time to start upping those levels, and you've been doing it. And then this 32 was it, and I can't wait to see. I know you got some other stuff in the works. I can't wait to see how.
Yeah. Well, once we get done with our Starscream build that we have sitting right here, our forest of parts, we're getting back on that Pro Street Super B for the Mafia Christmas party. Not party, Christmas meeting.
Me, I'm having struggles on that one.
Yeah, every day you procrastinate, it's another big cheat you have to do in order to get it done.
Oh, it's a gigantic cheat, and it's I don't know. I'm having trouble. I sat down to it. It's one of those things. Here's my problem with it. I'm not feeling it at all.
Yeah.
And
no, I get that.
And now also I have another deadline that's coming faster than you don't realize it till it starts hitting. And I am thinking about that model and wanting to work on that, which is our You Sucky build, the 70 Roadrunner, Mark Batson 70 Roadrunner.
Mine's still sitting right here on the floor.
Yeah, I really want to get on that bad, and I want that to be a well-built model. I want to take that to shows and put it on the table. You know, so not that it's going to be anything. As I'm not trying to build a showstopper, but I want something to put on the table that's, you know, worthy to be on the table, at least look at.
I have an idea. A lot of guys that are participating in the Yusaki build most likely will be at next ACME.
There you go.
And I think it'd be cool if we could bring our Roadrunners.
Yes.
Next year, and it'd be awesome if we could carve out a section of table or something. You know, just do the plant and sweep.
Yeah, might have to do a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to
yeah.
Bob Downey and say, hey, dude, could you...
Hey, Bob, yeah. It's like, well, I'll talk to John. He's got Bob Downey's here.
Yeah, definitely.
Or he says he does. But
he's good friends with. Yeah, I talked to...
John's good friends with everybody, man. That dude is connected. Yeah. We were in Vegas, standing in line, waiting to check in for our rooms. John was standing behind us, and this fellow steps up behind him, and John just turns to him and starts talking to the guy. And then a few minutes later, John tugs on the back of my shirt because, you know, I'm like a wall. I turn around, I'm like, yes. And John's like, you know who this is? Yeah, exactly. You know who this is? I'm like, no. He goes, he's the vice president of IPMS. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you knew him. He goes, I didn't. I just started talking to him. Yeah, I just started talking. Yeah, that chapter, yeah.
And the chapter?
I think it was, you know what? No, I think he was vice president of the whole thing.
Wow.
Of the whole thing, of the meatball.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you kidding? So I gave him one of my, business cards and stuff. And I'm sorry, I dropped my lucky rubber band. But I was like, how long have you known this guy? He goes, about 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So, John just has that way of, breaking the ice and talking to people. I suppose it comes from being a dentist. You gotta be a people person in order to be
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Model cars?
Oh, right, yes, of course. We had our fun at the MODELZONA, but yeah, if we could, if some guys can bring their Roadrunners or GTXs so they can display them together, that would be a lot of fun, especially if we did like a little YouTube thing, like a little talk or something like that for YouTube builders.
It was kind of my dream to do that this year at ACME, but a couple guys didn't show.
Yeah.
And
losers.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely we should definitely work on doing that, because it does seem like that's becoming the YouTube convergency show now.
Well, if you want to go with the witchcraft thing, it's the ley lines of YouTube.
Ooh, if you want to.
Yeah, I heard Tim's got that third ear going on the back of his head. He's been missing.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to take an opportunity to give a shout out to Tim and Fred and Matthew Inman for doing that little video thing, kind of like asking us where we're at and stuff. That meant a lot to me. And I got all goosebumpy and stuff when I saw that. And Linda was like, yeah, I guess we're going next year. I don't know why she likes playing the down low on that, because she enjoys the hell out of it. So.
Well,
Man, what a show.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was a real good show. It was the best I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh,
Best I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Great models, good fun.
Yeah, great fun. Yeah.
I hate it. Luka Cee couldn't make it.
Yeah, BG. Yeah.
BG.
Tim, why you got 3 years? You got third year growing back there.
I know.
Oh, it must be that witchcraft that they were talking about. Maybe next year, maybe they'll show up.
Maybe the roads.
Maybe they're walking.
I don't think the roads go from there.
No, they have to do this.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Drink a Red Bull.
Hey, 2023. LC? Maybe. Brian? Probably. Y'all be here. We're going to have a heck of a lot more fun. Be there, be square. Hey, let's go eat.
Yep.
Is that always safe?
We're out of here.
If you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Happy out of here. Happy out of here.
We're eating.
And yes, they're going to go see her mother.
Yeah, and she's gotten to be friends with the wives there. I know her and Pam hit it off really.
Her and Pam got, and then she's awesome. And then I almost think about wanting to write Pam and ask her for it's like, what do you think I should call this video?
Yeah, yeah. I tell you, she's giving me advice.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because they watch our videos together, Tim and Pam, and so because she's a big part of pointing Tim in the right direction. Except I got to get on her she's got to start get back into pressuring Tim about getting onto the podcast with me.
Oh yes.
Right, Tim. I mean, she went out. Now it's been almost a year and a half. She went out and bought everything he needed to do that, and he says, "Yeah, it's still in the box."
Are we telling stories we shouldn't be telling?
Nope. I'm putting it out there because he's got to get on my own podcast, or I'm gonna punch him in the neck. He's coming out here for a visit, and I'll punch him in the neck when
he's a busy dude. Well, then just wait till he's live and just.
I'll make him walk from the airport.
I tell you what, wait till he's out here. Have him come over here, and you guys can do this, since I already got the setup and everything.
Force him into it. That's a great idea. Because I told him, if he hasn't done an unpodcast by the time he gets out here, we're doing an unpodcast.
Yeah, just do it.
And we're going to do a model car guys, too.
Need to do that with Chuck, also.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, you know what? We're going all over. Sorry, everybody. Too bad. We will definitely, when Tim comes out here for the visit, we're going to get Chuck and everyone. We're going to we'll probably do it at Andy's like we talked about doing in the past, and have a show.
Yeah.
Have a little sit-down show, kind of Johnny Carson it.
So a show or something like a Family Feud?
That would be good.
Like somebody sitting there asking questions. Okay, now, for all the points, what does AMT stand for? No swearing, please. This is a family.
But back to what we were doing.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I got
it
right there. There's stapler. To get out your red stapler.
Golly jeepers! Yes. Leaving that out.
Yeah. By the way, people, pretty soon we are going to start being live together in the studio doing these.
Yeah, way better than this.
We'll be bringing back I know you're all missing the red stapler. Waggity. So we had a really good time there. It was pretty much model car mafia killing there because.
When we got all done with the judging, we were just chilling, right? And when there was a line of chairs along that long wall, and that was mafia guys all the way.
Yeah, it was. We were just, and we were all sitting there like a bunch of mobsters too, weren't we?
Yeah. And Mrs. BG may have actually found us a new member also. Somebody walked up and talked to her while she was filming, and typical thing, I recognize that voice, and she got to talking about them and dropped them some information, and they're talking about coming to the meeting this Saturday.
Yes, they contacted me, and they happen to live right down the street, so.
Hey, perfect.
They're rolling. Yeah, that's cool. And so we had a really good showing of a lot of great models there. Chuck, really nice. If you guys haven't watched Chuck's video, I don't know if you have yet. Have you watched that video yet?
No, it's on my
He
list.
showed all his spoilings of the weekend. He
That
he
bugger.
definitely brought home.
I was walking in the door, and he was walking out to his car, and he was carrying that '57 Chevy flip nose, and I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah. He is stoked about that. Heck,
I've been looking for one of those.
heck, I want one now. I really dig what that looks like. He's trying to figure out a way to get some fresh decals for that because he wants to build that car. That's the Rod Shop Corvette.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or did he actually have a '57 Chevy?
Well, he had the '57 Chevy flip nose from AMT.
We're talking about two different model kits.
We are.
Show that he had. Oh, you're talking about the Spirit of '57?
Yeah.
Oh, you want one of those, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
I haven't got enough paint in my life.
That is a fun kit. I got one I want to get back on. I want to get working on, but that's for another show. No, I was talking about. I had it floating up before that he got a hold of the Rod Shop Gasser Vet in 16 scale.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But he was showing all the coins he won. That guy, he cleaned up. He swept the class because there's no sweeps rule. Not going to get into that. I am definitely a fan of, I don't believe in there should be a no sweeps rule. My buddy Dennis and I one day, we're going to have a duke it out on the podcast about that. It's a good example. I think what he talked about in his video and what we saw there when you looked at, yes, his three models were the best on the table, and he worked hard, and he was really, really proud of the fact that he well deserved got gold, silver, and bronze. That's something that's really cool to be able to do. And I think well, I'm not going to get into the whole no sweeps, but he swept it. And then, and he won he won the class you two were in, and he was going for the gusto, and he was up against Dave Bell for best in class, best in the automotive, and of course the Don won that with this model right here, which was absolutely spectacular.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, very rightfully so. I mean, and that was an easy one as the judges. You remember when we were mulling over who was going to be the best in class. It was up between Chuck's Black 40 and Dave's, and it was just like.
Actually, I wasn't part of that discussion because I had stuff on the table.
Oh, that's right. You guys couldn't if you had stuff on the table.
So me and Chuck and Dave, Mark Hubbard, a couple other people were just like, well, we're just going to go over here and
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You couldn't be a part of that. Well, it was. I know it was only up between all the first place because you can't win best of class or show unless it's a first place in the class you're in.
Right.
And
I'm like, I still don't want to be part of that conversation though.
Yeah, that's cool that you're not. And it was like, but there were IPMS guys who really weren't connected to us, and they were all like, they were kind of in the decision making. Believe me, no, I don't want to say that. Tim's connected to us, but he's not like he just recently joined our club. Tim Bungard, who was the head automotive judge with IPMS.
But, Tim is able to stay objective.
Yeah, that's where he's very good. He's very neutral, but he doesn't have this very deep connection to either of the guys that was up against. And he was definitely, that's the one. He definitely was.
Deal. Because I was talking about something, and he came over, and he's like, okay, so why is that in first place? I'm like, well, this isn't the Tim I usually hang out with. Because he's like, sell me on why this is first in the category. And I'm like, at first I want to just be like, well, look at it, but he wanted some specific facts and stuff. So I was like, okay. Well, that was a part of him and the head judge when they came to our meeting was asking us to come help. Is they said they wanted us to teach them. Yeah, about cars. Yeah, about judging cars, because it really is a different animal between judging armor and science, all that stuff. And I do have to say, probably that's also a big part. Not only we had big numbers, but I don't think that was so much it. If you know what you're doing judging cars,
it is faster than the scrutiny that has to be put in place of like figures and science fiction. I can see where they take a little longer.
Right. My only criticism is if you're going to be setting up a show and it's going to have automotive and you're going to have a commercial category, i.e. big trucks, try to lay out a little more room than 3 square feet.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but the last couple IPMS shows I've been to, the commercial vehicle category is this little, like...
Yeah. They don't think it's going to be something. And actually, in automotive modeling, big rigs is one of the most popular.
It's a big deal. I mean, I remember in Vegas, we're waiting to get in the door. I'm sitting there holding my truck, and Chuck's holding one of his rig builds. And we're like looking at each other at that table going,
Yeah. Yeah, it was, the big rigs. It's very popular. Something Andy has always said to me for years is when they really started kicking big rigs back out, AMT it was, he says that has always been the stuff that's, he'd always load up on trucks. That stuff always sold. He was always rotating big rig kicks. That was always, out of the automotive section, the quickest and best sellers. So there's a lot of guys who build trucks, man.
Yeah, and I think it's a cash cow for AMT, honestly.
It is, and it's like, and I got to get on the stick and get my new molds made. It's like, and I want to do more truck stuff. Out of my resin, one of my most popular items that is a sure seller is my 50 F8 conversion kit for the 1950, the Revell 50 Ford F1 pickup. And, and Dave did this beautiful. I'm making a lot of work for myself every time I snap. But yeah, this model was built by Dave. And a plug for Luka Cee products, by the way. And yes, I will have those. I'm almost done with the molds, getting that back out again. It is my hottest selling. It's always been one of my hottest selling items I've ever produced. Big rigs, man. Gotta love them, especially old classic ones.
You know what? I think it's time for us to take a break.
Yes,
and then we'll be
I am
back
out
with
of coffee.
Too.
Let's do that.
Clear stuff. I'm gonna clear stuff today.
Let's and you know what? We will we'll get back into this.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you in a bit.
You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube.
So I just gotta say that this thing that Linda bought called a protein puck. Okay, it's basically a puck of bird food, and I think I might use it for the base of the next figure I make, because
it looks more like an alien planet surface.
Blah, yeah.
I have some. If you would like to snack on something a little more tasty, I have some napkins from Del Taco right here.
Have they absorbed the ambient flavor of Del Taco?
Oh yeah. Have a. Yeah.
Before you go out in the morning, you're just like, why does it smell like Del Taco in here? I don't know.
Yeah. So I was on another page on my screen here, and this was up, and I didn't know BG was there, and he probably caught me doing this.
Right, put me off my seed cake.
And that could have ended your appetite for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we came back from a break a while ago, so they all know this. It's how we roll here. You never know when you're on camera.
Well, that's the fun about doing stuff on the Zoomy Zoom.
Yeah, it's a ball, isn't it? Well, anyway, so we kind of talked about anything else you got to add to our experience of not being at ACME and being at WACME?
Well, the vendors were sure different, since it was an IPMS show.
Yeah.
I've been watching some videos from some of my friends that had gone to ACME, And Munchkin Modeling Man and Rusty Rotor, they were doing their stash ad stuff, and I'm like, dude. My friend Colonel Reb also, he was sharing some stuff. I'm like, you guys scored some awesome deals because Mrs. BG wasn't there.
Yes.
Because she descends on those tables like a plague. A plague of locusts. And then, people can attest to this. They see me walking out to the car with stuff I can barely see over stacks of stuff. But that's where
crying too.
That's where and she's a haggler like an Arab at a bazaar, type of thing.
But last year, she gave me a great bit of advice that I didn't take. That was when you model, you got.
Isn't that your thing?
Yeah, not taking advice. Which I didn't buy anything last year, and I'm still sore about it because there were some cool things there. But the whole rate it from 1 to 5, or did she have it 1 to 8 or 1 to 10?
It's 1 to 10.
Whether you should grab it right now or you can come back and take a chance and come back later. What's it? Everything's a 1 to her, though, isn't it?
Right now it is. Yeah. Right now it is.
But I was watching Tim Brown. The putting the throttle to the power.
That's next on my watch list.
Yeah, watch he probably one of his best swap meet videos. He's known for going to a show and he has the show video and then he has a swap meet video. His coverage of everything. He actually had a winner's video he first put out, then I think the swap meet and then the show or something like that.
Really good way to do it.
He has really figured his channel out and his style now. And it's really excellent coverage. And I watched his swap meet video, and for a couple of moments inside of nothing in my noggin skull, I thought I was there and literally reached out to grab something. The prices were awesome there. There was stuff that oh my goodness. I saw 10 buys, and then he was like, he had a couple. He was like taking some rare stuff and opening up the box and looking in there and going through it. And I'm screaming. I had to call him. I go, dude, you should have bought that. I would have bought that. And then he was going through. I was talking to him on the phone and watching it, so I could yell at him. And he had the camera down. You see his hand going through bag kits, and he pulls out a built-up of a model. Literally that day popped in my head because I saw something on Facebook groups that I was like, man, I have been wanting this kit. Even if I found a built-up of it, I would really love to have this kit. And he pulled it out, and it was like $20, which it's a very rare kit. So 20 was super cheap, and it was well built too. It wasn't glue bound. And I'm like, dude, oh my God, I would have told you to buy that for me and send it. I should have just, sent him some money and said, shop for me. It was some great stuff though on the swap. And I remember last year it was really great, but there was some great stuff on the swap meet table there.
And I had heard that somebody had brought a lot of their stash to sell, and it was kind of like an invitation only thing.
But it's an early invitation only, but pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, and it was a lot of Johan. I think that was on Matthew's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Matthew got invited in on that, and I don't remember if Tim did either. But
Tim did. He missed it. He was busy doing other things and didn't make it there. But he knew the guy. He's actually a friend of his, and Tim had opportunities. So
that's cool.
He didn't really. Tim's kind of like, oh, I just can't. I can't.
Right, and that's
I've got so much.
That's the thing about stashes, though. Like what we got going on here. We spent the last few years building it up.
Yeah.
Going to ACME, going to other shows like that, building it up, going out to NNL West, and now it's like I've got everything I want. I can start working on stuff now and getting it cranked out. But let's say something happens unforeseeable, and you have to liquidate.
Yeah.
You know, it's there. It happens. So, and I'm okay with that. So.
Yeah, you know, it is. There has been times that I dipped into my stash because I needed it. I had to pay, you know, a doctor bill for Denise when she was young, and I went to one of Mike's show, and I also, it was between that. Okay, I could use the money, and it's also like I need to put a dent in this monster. Because I'm going to be buying more, and I have no place, and I'm at that point right now. I cannot squeeze another model kit in this room.
Yeah.
And I just got a new one yesterday. If you saw my video on the Salvinos kit, I'm at least getting one a month from being in the Salvinos Builders Club. But I'm not getting one a month. We know how that all goes. But, you know, and then I got, you know, some Holy Grails just recently happened to me. If anybody's noticed that, this is something I have wanted forever, even though, you know, you don't need.
Yeah, those are both pretty sweet kits.
Yeah, that's just something I have wanted, and this is a super rare one that's actually going to become a resin I'm going to do.
You going to have that red alert at the Mafia meeting so we can check it out?
I can, well, it's going to be here, so yeah. But I'm actually, I'm like, I'm busting at the seams, and we know that, you know, right here, the closet of horrors. I need to make some room, so I'm going to be selling this week. I could use the extra cash, but I'm going through some kits, and I'm like, I just don't need 2 of these and 4 of those. I think I can live without these, and then I'll cry after they're sold. But you know, sometimes you got to do that, and it's good to generate a little extra income. So that's where it's good to have these. You know, it's kind of an investment.
It definitely is. So.
But
I've had to move mine from state to state to state, you know, a couple times. So
I had to do. I moved across country once and then moved across country again. That was and went through a rollover too in the process. When I rolled in Mississippi, I had some of my collection in the back, among other things. But I didn't lose anything. I didn't lose any kits. Everything was okay. But
no kits were damaged in this rollover.
A couple of them got a little bit of Mississippi mud on them, but that was okay.
So we have all of our stuff unbuilt, stored in boxes here as the stash. But what do you do when you've got something built and you want to keep it for forever? Can't encase it in resin. That's not practical. I can tell you from personal experience, it's not going to go well.
No.
So I've got a couple of those large cases you can hang on the walls and put like 20 different cars in or whatever.
Yeah.
I decided to take those down and clean them because they're getting dusty. And now I have a mini car show on the kitchen island in the.
Oh yeah. How cool.
But yeah, I mean these little dudes here. I have so many in these little cases just sort of floating around the house here and there. Yeah, you've got a stack also.
Out of room for that too. That's another thing, because I just cleaned a shelf up here that I have some kits built. I mean, that I don't even have cases for, so I have to dust them all the time. But I had to put some of the ones I wasn't so worried about. I'm kind of like prioritizing, but I just haven't had the extra cash. I had figured out, measured that if I got I can fit 3 or 4 of those Carney plastic flat against the wall there, and have plenty of room for the rate that I build. I probably won't even fill it in 10 years. Yeah.
One of these?
Yes, I'm getting one of. I want to get. I actually, right now, what I have on the wall here, 2 cases. That won't even fill 2 cases if I get those. So I was thinking about ordering a couple here pretty soon. This is also very, I got Felix running, and we know how the program director is sometimes.
Well, it looks like it's about a door slam away from coming down.
Yeah, and his mother and father aren't too far behind him. They have almost taken these out a few times. And so
when I go in your room, I just stand in the middle of the room with my hands in my pocket.
That's the best thing for you to do, because, I'm ready for you. But yeah, it's definitely, and they take up a lot less room. It'll be closer to the wall, but I can literally put 4 of them on this wall, on the ground, up on top of one another. I can have 4, and that'll be I won't fill it for years. I have enough built models. I can put a lot in there, but I won't fill it. So, and these cases are great, but you know what? When you add up what you spend on these, those Carney plastic deals like what you just showed, it's 100 times cheaper.
Even if you got a coupon.
Yeah.
At the Hobby of Lobbies.
Yeah.
I mean, this one here comes in at like $10.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And they had them on sale for $6.99. So I'm like, cool. I'm going back for some more. Like, well, by the time I got back there, they were all gone. So. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're also hard to get a hold of. I have bought them online too because of that. But it's like by the time what you pay for that.
I've had bad experience with stuff showing up busted.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched my video last night. I went off on the USPS last night.
It's on my watch list.
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah,
I made it funny. But I was not happy with my mailman at all. Basically.
You know who did a really great video on those gigantic cases was Mr. Tim.
Yes, he did. He did.
And if we can post a link somehow to that video, that would probably help out a lot of folks.
I definitely say check that out because I'll have a link down below too. Tim did a great video, and he is the one who I always was interested in. I knew a lot of people that had him, but he was the one who really sold me.
Right.
And
it looked like they were packed pretty well too.
Oh yeah. Carney Plastic does a great job, and he's actually been to he's bought directly from them too. And if there's a problem, if there's like a blemish on one, they won't send it out. And he's gotten really good deals on ones that have like some sort of blemish and you don't even see it.
Oh, wow. They sell seconds? That's kind of cool.
They're at their store, I believe so.
Oh, okay. So you have to go in.
Yeah, you have to go there. But I could be 100% lying, too.
Well, that's true.
I'm not my ability on it.
It's your second flaw.
I know that everybody loves when you get a hold of a really nice glass case and stuff like that. Still, I haven't really seen any. I was almost going to buy these ones from IKEA that looked really cool, but I was told by a lot of people, hey, you still got to get in there and dust. And
yeah, because they don't seal up very well. They have a little door and everything, but they don't seal up. They're not airtight.
I've just known a lot of people that have really beautiful display cases. You still got to get in there and dust. It still doesn't, I mean, even the best of them. And it's just like a Carney plastic. And they don't look at, I mean, it looks, if you got the room, a beautiful big display case. Yeah, that is impressive. I remember when I first got into this hobby, what I used to want years ago was one of the big guys in the club at the time. He'd have the meetings at his house, and he had a display case he built, and it was recessed into the wall, and it was sliding glass.
Wow.
And with mirror shelves and a mirror behind it. It was absolutely beautiful. Of course, custom made by him.
That's a commitment.
Cool how it was in the wall. And I've seen a couple guys that have done that, but yet still, he had a heck of a dust problem, especially here in Arizona.
Yep. Yeah.
You have to dust almost every day.
Well, don't we suffer from the dusty lung out here?
What?
We suffer from the dusty lung or valley fever.
Oh, wow. Yeah, valley fever is and all that stuff looks really great, but quite honestly, the Carney plastic is kind of boring until you get all the, compared to all this real flashy stuff. But it really is the least expensive. Economically, it's fantastic, and it really is the most secure and dust-free way of displaying your models. I feel that's my personal opinion. It's the route I want to go.
I can't disagree.
Everybody I know who's ever gotten them have absolutely loved them.
Chuck was over a couple weeks ago picking up something that I had for him, and he saw that I had one of those. Was that?
You let him in your house?
I had to. It was raining outside, so. But he looked so sad. So I let him in, and I was showing him. He came through the dining room area and saw one of those big plastic boxes I have sitting there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "Actually, I found that at an antique shop, and I paid $40 for it." And he goes, "Dude, do you know how much those things are going for right now?" I'm like, "I haven't priced them recently." He goes, "I will pay you $41 for that." I had to laugh at that. That was cool. he's like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, I know you're serious. Get out of my house.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about stuff in light storage, because you have it in one of those cases. Have you ever just taken stuff out to look at and then realize, mysteriously stuff is broken or missing parts? You have that too? Because we have that. I mean, I pulled this little guy out, right? Was taking a look at him, and I turn him around. I'm like, oh my God! Don't know where the part is.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Gone, type of thing. And then, let's see here. How about this guy? This is my plum crazy Cuda, and missing a mirror. Just
Failing.
I picked the car up. I picked up the car, and I was moving it, and I heard something rattling around inside, and sure enough, it was actually the mirror. So I'm like, how the hell did it get in there? And if Linda had bumped something, whatever, she would say, by the way, I bumped that. I'm not sure if stuff's in there. Okay, I'm really, really sorry. That type of thing. It's just one of those deals. And then, like this guy. Oh.
And were these all in individual cases, or?
No, these were all in one of the big cases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the little cases, big cases. So this dude, the 50 Merc.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, now I want to get that kit.
This is all decal. The dark part has a decal there, but everything else is hand painted wood. Anyway, I digress.
Yes.
I made a roof rack for a handmade surfboard. I was making surfboards for a short time. That's sitting in there. It's askew. I'm like, what the hell happened? Oh, and it's missing the hood ornament. So I'm like, the elves are getting into things.
Yeah, you've got something going on in that creepy old house of yours.
Yeah, you have racks that just collapse, and we have things that just...
We got creepy old houses, so we don't know. We moved in here 3 years ago, but there was 45 years of others living in this house. I don't know what the heck happened.
We wrestled this one to death.
We beat it down hard and threw a lot of sand and aggregate down on top of it before we throw all the... I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah. Model cars. We built them.
We've killed this topic. We've buried it 6 feet deep. We've put sand and gravel on top, and now we're just kind of smoothing over the concrete.
And getting out the tamper, right?
Yeah, the tamper.
I always like those. Hey, really, guys, if you haven't watched BG's video on his 32, go check it out. Again, right there.
Thank you.
Really excellent. Go watch Chuck's thing on him bragging about all his wins. Oh, one thing I want to say about Chuck's wins, that trophy. He was saying in his video, the one that he was most proud of, though, was his Warhammer figure. If you haven't watched his video with his Warhammer...
Did he win an award for his Warhammer figure?
He won first place in figures with that.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
That guy
is... to tell people that the tetanus cab got first place for his category, because I'm so excited about that.
That's right. You did get a first with the tetanus cab.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. There's another hour added to the editing. Got to do it. I got to do it. The fans expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was you guys did well. You and Dave and Chucky did well. I don't think I would even made a dent at you if I would have showed up with my models. I'm just not as good as you guys.
You are. I've seen that Maverick that you were working on.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool to have that Maverick. But I am going to say this. So with last weekend, us being at MODELZONA, now AKA ACME, and the ACME videos I've been watching, and then, Mark Batson, I asked him, that night, so what did they say? What did they announce the themes were next year? And he said the themes, and of course, pretty much because of these guys right here.
I forgot what they were.
Well, I don't remember all of them, but I know one of the major ones is just NASCAR.
Okay.
So they're going to have a NASCAR theme. And
they always have a sub theme. Yeah.
Yeah, and because of these guys right here, NASCAR subject in model cars has really launched big again. It used to be really popular in the 90s and it died down a lot, but Salvino's has brought NASCAR modeling really up high, and you go to shows now and you see a lot of NASCAR builds. And ACME definitely has heavy hitters rolling between Wayne Stevens, Jay Severese, Clay Kemp. Oh my goodness, you look at that class. Well, and oh yeah, and Mark Batson, he does okay. And man, I have decided that I want to put a model down next to those dudes. And I always felt like the model, I want to do a model for ACME that I can put on the table. I'm going for I want to put it down and get some respect. It's not so much, I'm not going for a win. I don't worry about the trophy. That's hard to do there, but I will shoot for it. But I want to be able to put my model next to those guys that I said about, those amazing model builders, and not feel like a schlump, actually.
I totally get it.
My award, if I can get Clay Kemp, Mark Batson, Wayne Stevens, Jay Severese, Rob Smory, those guys that are in that class that have the beautiful NASCAR builds, go, wow, that's cool. That's the award I'm going for. And I have come up with an idea, and it is so unique to any of them. And I always felt that if I was going to do a bad ass model car, it probably would be NASCAR. That's really my strong point in the automotive.
That's where your passion is.
That's my passion.
Build to your passion, and if it happens to be something that's theme worthy for the show, then all the better.
So I'm going to shoot for that. So that is probably all the other models and all the other models I have promised that I'm going to get on. This one's probably going to be it. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will say this about it, because I am going to do a video on this whole thing. I not only pick something that is unique, that I almost guarantee there won't be another one like it. It's, of course, a vintage, old NASCAR. It is something that I have a personal connection to, because I actually touched the vehicle that I'm going to model in a big way, in a really big way.
And that's kind of rare for a lot of us, is to model something that's actually been something that we've touched in real life.
Yeah, like at a very personal level touched.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean that in a sick way. Basically, I restored the car races in the vintage racing, and I had a big part of the restoration in that. Didn't get credit for it. No one ever, when the magazines were ever put out, other people got credit for it. But I had a huge part of it. That's between me and the guy who owned it at the time. But I had a huge part, did a lot of work on that stuff, on that thing. And I figure it's the right car to build a model of.
Sounds good.
I'm going to say that, and then the video's coming, dudes. Wait till you see this thing.
Well, I've often talked about wanting to build for ACME.
Yes.
And the 32 is definitely, that's going to go. I mean, that's going to
has to go to ACME.
After the Mafia meeting, where she makes her debut there, it's going to be put away, packed in, carbonite.
Nice.
And then set aside so that she's pristine still for ACME next year.
Awesome.
That's definitely going. But yeah, dude, totally want to build.
You will probably have more by then too. I know how you build it. I know how you are.
We'll have 65 32s.
I don't mean 32s, but you'll have more model cars.
Yeah, that's true.
You are going to be doing a NASCAR. I'm going to get you. With that being said, we are about to get shut off by Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kill this one.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
There you go.
In the comments below and over on our Facebook. We didn't make it. And I don't have BG here yet. Here he comes. He's coming. He's coming. There he is. We didn't make it.
We didn't make it.
They cut us right off.
Good thing we weren't crossing the street on that one, because wow.
Oh, wow. Like a bus, huh?
Like a bus.
Like a bus. Anyways, so we're going to we're gonna. I mean, now we got time. So, anything you want to add or summarize this whole thing?
No, I just wanted to say that I really like bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Anyway,
That's fantastic.
It's great to hear. Oh, yeah, new cell phone. Had it for 2 weeks. Really wish we had a younger person living in the house with us, because it's like, do the things. How do you do the things? And my video, I've slowed down making videos because I'm like, dude, I can't make the thumbnails like I used to because it doesn't have that software anymore, because that was something that was in the Samsung.
Oh.
And perhaps you've noticed my thumbnails have started to sucketh once again. But,
Yes.
That's
what it was.
And then I always blame it on the software. That, and then the fact that the freaking photo album, everything wants to go put stuff in, send it to the Google star that floats around.
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
You can switch that stuff off, but the phone doesn't like it.
Well, you know what? You sent me what I don't know if you put the video up, but you sent me that thumbnail today. I thought it was a good thumbnail.
All right, cool. I had to download 2 new apps in order to create that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, do everything.
The photo album that comes with the phone is.
Yeah, I just can't. I don't know the phone things. We're not friends. I can't do stuff on the phone. I'm still old fashioned. I got a giant tower here it's I don't know if you can hear it. It's making noises. It's dying. Yeah. But I love the thing.
It sounds like something out of a Stephen King novel.
It came from a Stephen King novel. It looks like.
It's called The Tower.
I accidentally on purpose dropped it on the floor one time, and it's like hanging by a thread. So
it's cattywampus.
All right. Well,
I think my protein puck's kicking in.
Well, with that being said, are you still hungry?
I am starving.
Well, there's 2 things we usually do after we do a show. So today we do.
Go to Andy's and
get some Taco Bell.
I'm out.
Let's go.
Here's the producers.